Hello. Oh, yep. Hello. Good morning. So, I've decided to talk about ISIS and my viewpoint of them. And of course, the reason why I am talking about them is because I'm applying it to Libya, and because I have witnesses in Libya, and because I have first-hand witnesses in Libya, and so I can really tell you some truth. Perhaps not all of it, but some of it. And some truth can be very helpful to know the real truth. So, the ISIS, formerly known as the Islamic State of Syria and Iraq, that was then expanded to the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, and now it's just called the Islamic State. And so the Western media have used this name, so that it's Islamic, okay? It's not a cult, it's not an agenda-led conspiracy, it is Islamic. So the politically led Western mainstream media are trying to manipulate the minds of their audience to think that, yes, the East is savage, it's Islamic. Islam is the origin of violence, okay? And they will kill us, okay? So you must fear them. You must be frightened, because we are the civilized, the colonizers, and they are the savage, the colonized, okay? And so this pattern must go on, because this is what the power-hungry people will always do, okay? And the East, of course, are those who are manipulated by those just like the ISIS, so that they become the showcase of this, And so we have huge numbers of innocent people, okay, in East and West, okay, who have a barrier between each other by the anti-humanists, the power-hungry, okay, who never want something called humans tolerating each other and living in peace. They never want this, because there are benefits, there are human desires coming out of this. So, this is basically what happened in Benghazi, the first city where the revolution actually began to topple Gaddafi. There was a protest 2 years ago by Ansar al-Sharia, who are in English called the Victorious Heroes of Sharia, okay? And they come in different names, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Ansar al-Sharia, and many other names, okay, with different kind of named organizations that people simply do not know about, yet, eccentrically, they're easily manipulated by them. And they came out in a protest, ironically with guns, although Islam means peace, and they were strangely asking for the application of Sharia in Libya. Some people came out of their doorstep saying, oh, well, hello there. So you follow Sharia just like us. This is fantastic. We could all be together. I support you guys. We're all Muslims. And other people were like, wait a minute. Are you trying to say I don't follow Sharia? Because I swear that we follow the same thing. And so people had those divided views, but it was quite a haze to them, So that this protest was dismissed, and people just thought, okay, right, this is just like a small minority. No idea where they come from, but never mind. I'm sure they're not a threat to us. But the thing is, they were a threat, and so they began the bombings, And I personally was in Benghazi many times before. There was nothing called the bombing. Even the thought of a bomb was just not there. So the increased number of bombings is obviously something that's not made by the people, This is not in the nature of the people. This was never done before. This is somebody who knows how to do this stuff. And the increased number suggests there were plenty of assassins in Benghazi at the time who were, funnily enough, targeting colonels in the army, which is understandable, of course, right? They want to weaken the power of the Libyan people, the Libyan revolutionaries, because they have the ability. I think this is what this agenda has noticed, that the Libyans have the ability to go so far as they do not want, okay? So the bombings increased so much that suicide bombings arrived. This was not even in the thought of Libyan people. This is against Islam. One should never even self-harm oneself. One should not even smoke or drink so that they don't harm their body, let alone kill themselves. This is something out of the Islamic faith. And yet, ironically, they use that in the name of Islam, in the name of Sharia. That's not Sharia, this is not Islam, okay? It's not Islamic law. So, in general, Of course, after all these strange things occurred, and nobody knew from who or who were the killers, operations began to occur, which is fantastic. You know, Operation Dignity, Operation Dawn, all coming together, different people fighting for different ideas, different targets, different aims, different objectives, and so everything has occurred and all the conflict, and everybody's confused and nobody knows whose side to pick, you know. But for me, the most dangerous is ISIS, or shall I say, the cult. This is the most dangerous. Because with a dictator or with anything, you still have your self-opinion. You can topple them. Gaddafi was toppled, okay? And everybody was fine straight afterwards. But with people like those cults, they manipulate you. So the solution to this problem is not easy, okay? And so the same strategy was applied to many different cults around the world, and so people were massacred and innocent lives were put to threat, and people put the blame on the followers. But it's the person who's instigated this who is to blame. You know, the 2 slave women found in London are not to blame, okay, for